Hey everyone, in today's video we have almost a full face of new drugstore makeup, and I'm going to be honest with you before we get started, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but if you're interested in seeing what's good and what's not so good, then please do keep on watching. So I have almost a full face of makeup today. The only significant product that I don't have is a mascara, and that is intentional. I am really trying to make a conscious effort to use up my mascaras because they are literally out of control and all either expired or about to expire. So no new mascara today. We're just going to get straight into it, and I wanted to start with this lip oil from Essence, and this is the Cranberry Lip Oil, and everybody was going absolutely crazy for it. It's actually called Cranberry Is Back. It's just a clear lip oil. So this is colour changing, okay? Now I've featured colour changing lip products in the past, and they always go bright pink on me. So I've had this a while now, and I think I picked it up for about €4. So as you can see, it goes on nice and clear, but it will start to change. I like this lip oil. I think it's really comfortable, but it's a thick lip oil. If you like a weightless kind of lip product, you're probably not going to like this. So I have gone in on my brows with a brow pen, just the Maybelline Express Brow, but I do have an eyebrow pencil to show you. This is the NYX Blade and Shade. And it has this angled tip, which has become more blunt the more that I've used this, okay? So it doesn't create the finest of hair strokes, unfortunately. So I have this in the shade Espresso. Okay, so I was expecting like a really dark brown. It's a little bit warmer than what I would like it to be. I'm just not loving the shade, to be honest. Now, I like to use a brow pencil here, and I like to fill in all of the sparse bits that I have. It's fine. Like I said, it's a little bit softer than I would like, and the fine tip isn't as fine anymore, so I can't create those super fine strokes. What I try to do is kind of use the edge of it. It's just a little bit soft, you see. So if you're just looking for soft brows, which, you know, I'm not looking for harsh brows, but I need to mimic hair strokes. I don't know, it's just not fine enough for me. I mean, it's fine for soft and fluffy, but Blade and Shade, it's supposed to be a little bit more precise. This retails for $8.99, which I think is a fair amount for a brow pencil. Honestly, it's not something I would be repurchasing. I like the spoolie though. The spoolie's really good. It's very small and precise. Yeah, I just don't love it. And it's too warm. It's just too warm for me. I mean, I'm going to use it, but I won't repurchase it. No, I won't repurchase it. Catrice have released some brand new one-pot eyeshadows. These are cream eyeshadows, and I picked up 2 shades. So these are the Catrice Metallic Spark Cream Eyeshadows. This is Diamond Dust. And these retail for around £4. They are very, very, very creamy. Now they're super pigmented. The other one that I picked up was Champagne Chic, and you can see how messy they already are. I've only used these a few times. So Diamond Dust and Champagne Chic. And they just have this lovely metallic finish. I am going to say though, they dry down very, 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 very quickly. So you have to work quickly. And being completely honest, the idea behind these eyeshadows is really good. And I am thinking they're a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize, because they have a very similar texture, but the Eyes to Mesmerize are a little bit more moussey. These are, they're very, very creamy, and they're a little bit hard to work with because they're so messy and they're just hard to apply, really. I'm going to use a brush and I'm going to use my finger. Now, it's very hard to dip into this if you have longer nails. Now, I've just done my nails, so they're a little bit shorter. This is Champagne Chic, and I'm going to pop it on with my finger and then just blend out any edges with my Real Techniques brush. So I'm just kind of patting it in. That's the best way to apply these. And today I'm going to pop another little shade in the crease, just to show that you can, you know, use this in combination with other eyeshadows. But yeah, I think it's really pretty. One and done eyeshadows for me should be really quick and easy, but these, they require a little bit more attention. You can definitely rely on these to stick around once they are on your eyes. They dry down and yeah, they are there all day. Just to show you how budge proof they are, you see there, not budging. But this for me would be a perfect look for every day on the school run, just a little bit of something. But you can pair it up with a powder eyeshadow, and I'm just going to just pop a little bit of my e.l.f. This is the Keep It Ethereal eyeshadow palette. This is, well, it's fairly new. It's their newest eyeshadow palette. And I'm just going to pop just a little bit of colour from this palette onto my eyes. I like the actual finish of these eyeshadows. It's just, it feels like a lot of work. Don't feel like I can just dip in, apply. I feel like I have to be really careful. I feel like I have to work really fast. So it could have been an amazing dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, and it's the closest I can think of that has the same kind of creamy, moussey consistency. It's just a lot of work. As I said, I don't have any new mascaras, so I'm going to put my newest drugstore mascara on. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal, because this is one of my favourite mascaras right now. So I'm just going to go and pop this on, and then we will move on to the complexion. We're moving on to the under eyes now, and I've prepped my under eyes, I've prepped my face, okay, with my usual serums, moisturisers. And you may have heard of these. These are the Catrice Under Eye Brighteners, and people have been raving about these. These cost me about £3 each. And these are just under eye brighteners, not concealers, brighteners. I think there's 4 shades. I picked up 2. These are the 2 that people have been raving about. So I picked up Light Rose and Warm Nude, and I'm going to show you them both today. So we're going to start with Light Rose. Now, these have a very balmy type consistency. If you have used the e.l.f. Colour Correcting Under Eye Brightener, it's the exact same consistency. However, I will say that the Catrice is a little bit more thick. It's a little bit more substantial. So we've got the pink, and we've got on this side Warm Nude. I am not going to even attempt to swatch them because they are very, very hard to see. So instead, I'm going to apply them for you. On this side, we'll go in with Light Rose. So I'm just going to tap just now. You see, I only dabbed a tiny amount. You get a lot out of these, okay? So you don't need a lot. And I'm just going to just gently pat a tiny amount under the eye. I'm not bringing it all the way up to my lash line because my darkness is obviously where my eyes hollow out. And as you can see, one eye is a lot darker than the other. So I'm just going to continue round a little bit, just wiping off the excess onto the back of my hand. These blend out really nicely, really easily. People have been going crazy for these, literally crazy. So that's just that eye done. And again, this is the pink shade. We'll move on now and I'll show you Warm Nude. Personally for me, I feel like Warm Nude is the best shade for me because I think that the colour helps to neutralise some of this darkness, and this is my most problematic eye. Okay, so let's just tap. We're not applying a ton because we are going to go in with concealer over the top. And just apply a little bit around here. So I feel like this does help to colour correct, I would say. And there is a little bit of brightening there, so that's a quick look at a before and an after. Do you think the pink is better, or do you think the Warm Nude? It's hard to know, isn't it, actually? Look, I don't worry too much about my under eyes these days. I mean, the main thing that I don't want is creasing and crepiness under my eyes. So, yeah, I mean, look, these are nice. I don't think that they are anything super innovative that we've not seen before. I think if you have the e.l.f. under eye brightener, I think you're fine. I don't think you need to get these. I think they are pretty much the same thing. I think you do get a little bit more coverage with these, but still very, very similar. Next up, I have a new concealer and it's from Morphe. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is I am always a little bit on the fence about including Morphe in my videos because I think they are a little bit of a problematic brand. I know that people still want to see them though. So I saw this concealer and it had good reviews. Now it is new, so I wanted to show it to you because I know that some of you will still be buying Morphe. So this is the Morphe Wakeup Artist Concealer and this retails for £12. So I picked this up in the shade 5W and I think it's a really good shade. So it is a warm shade, but I don't mind that under my eyes. It is a buildable formula. It claims to leave a radiant and hydrated finish. It contains hyaluronic acid, like everything does these days. And it also contains glycerin to attract and lock in moisture. So it has a really big doe foot applicator. So I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty, and this is my N16 brush. And I would say this is definitely a medium coverage concealer. Now, even though I've got kind of color corrector, brightener on underneath, I do find that no matter how much I've applied of this, you can definitely still see my darkness, which isn't, that's not unusual, okay, for me. I'm never going to totally conceal my darkness. I really think this is it's a nice formula. Look, it wears nicely, but I did experience quite a lot of fading with this, and although it doesn't become a creasy mess, it definitely almost immediately sits into my little creases under my eyes. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. So in terms of how it feels lovely, it does feel hydrating, and it definitely is a concealer that you can build up. But I don't like the wear on it. I don't love it. I did expect more, especially for £12. I thought that I might get a little bit more out of this. But for me, there is definitely better drugstore concealers out there. I think if you had crease-free under eyes, then you might like this because it does feel really nice and it definitely does have that luminous kind of radiant finish. It's fine. It's okay. It's a nice concealer, but I wouldn't be running out to repurchase it. Okay, I'm really nervous for this next bit. On our complexion today, we are using a skin tint from NYX. This is the Buttermelt Glaze Soft Glow Skin Tint SPF 30. I have this in the shade Vanilla Bean Butter, and I was really excited to try this out. So the price does vary of this. I think I paid £13.99 for this, and for that you get 30ml of product. Okay, so let me show you the shade first of all. So a lovely runny consistency, and then just blending. And you can see there how perfect that shade is. It really is a great shade for my skin tone. So this is not a first impression. I have been wearing this. I say wearing it. It sits weird on my skin. And I don't know why. Okay, yesterday I put this on. I was about to take my son to a birthday party and I put this on and it was so bad that I had to take it off. So I'm just going to insert a video of what my skin looked like just after applying this. And this is after I applied it with my fingers. It was separated. It wouldn't sink into my skin. It was just moving around and then setting. And I've never had that experience on my skin before, ever, with a product. So I'm wondering, was yesterday just a really bad day? Now, I didn't love it the first time that I wore it, but it didn't do that. So I'm nervous today. I'm nervous about what's going to happen. But first of all, let's have a quick look at what the claims of this tint are. So it claims radiant light coverage. It has an SPF of 30. It's enriched with shea and mango butters to help lock in hydration. Niacinamide. I hate that ingredient. I hate it in foundation. So because of the disaster that I had yesterday, I am actually going to go in with a pore filling primer on one side, okay? Because it seemed to be this area that was the issue. So I'm going to use this little e.l.f. liquid poreless putty primer. e.l.f. do really good pore filling primers. I usually like the one in the tub, the cream one, but we're going to use this liquidy one today. I've already prepped my skin, like I said, in the same way that I apply it with every single foundation that I ever use. So I'm just going to work that into problematic areas, well, areas that this tint seems to hate. And my skin details are always in the description box below, but I have pretty dry skin these days. I think I'm going to have to change my info. I used to have normal to dry skin, and I think in the summer I do have normal skin, but I've been really suffering with dryness in recent months, and I'm thinking that it might be time to concede that I now have dry skin. While I let that primer sit for a minute, I'm going to go in on this side. I think I'm going to use my fingers on one side and a brush on the other and see if that's the problem. We'll give it a good shake. The shade is really good. Really good, look. Really good. It literally disappears into the skin, and that's what you want from a tint, a foundation shade. You want it to just disappear. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to pop a little bit on, and we're going to just rub that in. Okay, that's applying really nicely today. Oh, thank goodness. All right, that looks a billion times better than it did yesterday. Okay, so very light coverage, as you can see there. You can still see my skin, you can still see my blemishes, and do you know, that's not surprising for a skin tint, is it? But I'm just delighted that it doesn't seem to be causing me any problems. So on this side, I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty 109 brush, and I'm just going to tap into the tint. I'm scared. And just kind of push it into the skin. Okay, that's looking good. It looks really good with the pore filling primer, really good. And it's applying really nicely with a brush. Okay, so I have worn this a good few times now. And the thing I'm going to say about it is it's really inconsistent. I don't think I have the best relationship with niacinamide in complexion products. That's the first thing that I'm going to say. Now, I know people are going to ask if it's buildable. So we're going to go in with a tiny bit more with the brush. So I'm just working it into the brush and just pushing a tiny little more onto the skin. Now, yesterday, I didn't even get to try and build it up because it immediately started to separate. So maybe it was something that I did to my skin yesterday. I don't know. But this is the best that it's looked on my skin. And that is a fact. And I've worn this, I'd say about, I want to say 4 times now. And the other 2 times, it was nice, but it kind of did start to settle into my pores a little bit. I think you just have to be extremely careful about how you prep your skin with this tint. So at the moment, I love how this looks on my skin. This is exactly how I wanted it to look every time that I've worn it. This is exactly how a tint should look on the skin. So it's not giving a ton of coverage. It's giving a really light amount of coverage, but it's it looks flawless. It really does. But you can still see your skin. So you can still see my blemishes. You can still see, you know, my hyperpigmentation. But it's light coverage. It doesn't claim to be any more than that. And this is exactly why you cannot deliver an accurate review when you've worn something once or twice. I think that when this works, it works absolutely beautifully. It gives you what a skin tint should. Very hydrated, lovely looking skin. I mean, I'm not getting complete like glazed skin, but I'm getting a little bit of dew, I would say. I've got a lot of luminosity, a lot of radiance. And as for the fragrance, it smells like an SPF. Okay, so if you don't like the smell of SPF, you're not going to like the smell of this. This has surprised me today, so I'm going to continue with it and I'll let you know how it's gone at the end of April. I have just wiped off my lip oil because I wanted to show you a lip liner and I wanted it to sit there for a little while because it's a plumping lip liner that I want to show you. But the lip product is also a plumping lip product. So I wanted to show you them separately. So this is the NYX Duck Plump Plumping Lip Liner. I have this in the shade Pink Jection. This retails for £9. So it claims to be a plumping lip liner which helps to define lips with a warming effect. It has a long-lasting colour with a rich texture. And obviously Pink Jection is a pink shade. NYX produced some brilliant lip liners, but oh my gosh, they are hard to sharpen. So this is great because it's a twist up. I'm going to say though, the first time I put this lip liner on, I was like, oh, this doesn't hurt at all. I can't even feel any tingling. And then it set in. Oh my gosh. I literally wanted to just wipe it off because it was quite intense. But then I applied it again another day and it wasn't so bad. So I'm wondering, was it just my first experience? So let's pop it on. And how I'm going to apply my lip liner today, I had a tip from a wonderful viewer called Heidi. And Heidi said that a great tip is not bringing your lip liner all the way to the corners of your mouth and it will give you more of a fuller appearance. So we're going to go and do that. We'll go in with the lip liner and then we'll stop and see if it does actually plump up my lips because I need all the plumping I can get. I do. So I definitely do think it looks better when you don't bring the lip liner all the way to the corners. So thank you to Heidi for that. I can't feel anything at the moment, but after a while, I will. I definitely will. This is a really, really creamy lip liner. In terms of how long it lasts, I mean, it's not as budge proof as, for example, my Maybelline lip lifter liners. Yeah, it's fine. And yeah, it's not completely budge proof. So it's still coming off a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's fine. It's not hurting me. I can, well, actually, now that I've touched it, it does feel a little bit tingly. If you're sensitive to a little bit of a chilly feeling around your lips, you won't like this, okay? You won't like the lip liner. Moving on to bronzer, and this is the Essence Baby Got Bronze. It's taken me so long to try this. I should have used this before. I have this in the shade Sunkissed Sweetie. It's messy, but that's my fault. I didn't close it. You can actually close these, so an on and an off, which is great. These are obviously supposed to be a bit of a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury bronzing ones. Again, that's the shade Sunkissed Sweetie, and I really like the shade. I think it's a perfect bronze shade. So the Baby Got Bronze retails for about £3 or £4, which is so super affordable, and you get a ton of product. It would literally last you forever. So I am taking my BK Beauty 112 and I'm just going to dip into the bronzer on the back of my hand a bit and just kind of work it into the brush, and then I'm just going to press it in. And it's not super pigmented, it's just really lightweight, and you can obviously build this up. So that's the difference. So, you know, not a huge amount of pigment, and it's not the same as a cream, it is a liquid bronzer. But I really like this bronzer, I do. I think it's a brilliant alternative to the Charlotte Tilbury, it really is. I think the Charlotte Tilbury are actually contour ones though, rather than bronzers. I like it. I think it's a really good bronzer. Okay, I've got a couple of blushes here, both from Catrice actually. I think I'm going to go with the newest. I think this is the newest. This is the Catrice Blushin Charm Multi-Stick. So I've used this a few times now. This is in the shade Radiant Honey. It's kind of just a really perfect nude. For this, I am actually going to go in with the BK Beauty 109 again. So I'm just going to tap into it and then just pop it on the cheeks. I like that blush. I really like it. I think it's a really lovely everyday blush. I like it. I didn't even tell you how much that was, did I? It cost me £4.50. Really nice. I'm going in a really strange order today. Okay, I know I am, but that's because I want to let some products really sit. But I just wanted to apply a lip product. So for this, I'm actually going to remove most of this lip liner. I wanted you to see the lip liner on its own, to be honest. I knew that it wouldn't go with Worth It. I knew it wouldn't match. And I want you to see Worth It on its own on the lips. Yeah, that lip liner I think has plumped my lips actually. Yeah, it definitely feels, and I can still feel it. I can still feel that chilly kind of feeling, you know, the stinging. Yeah, it's not uncomfortable, it's not unbearable, but it's definitely there. This is the L'Oreal Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oil. So I picked this up in the shade Worth It. So that's the applicator. And you can see there all the product on there. It's just a perfect nude, isn't it? It's just absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, you can see there that it does have pigment. It's not a clear lip oil. So it is infused with hyaluronic acid, tripeptides. You have instantly plumper looking lips. It doesn't feel sticky, just feels really lovely. Immediately you can feel the tingling, okay? And I was a bit taken aback by that when I first tried it. I knew that it was plumping, but sometimes plumping means that it's going to sting your lips into plumping, and sometimes it just means that it's going to plump out your lip lines. This one is definitely a tingly plumping, okay? So if you don't like that, you're not going to like this lip oil. So let me just take these out, they're annoying me. I've already used the NYX lip liner, which gave me a little bit of plumping. It's the same feeling. This feels more intense because it's over the whole lip. Apart from the tingling, when that goes, this is so comfortable. You absolutely forget that you are wearing it. The only thing that I will say for this is that it doesn't last. I wouldn't expect a lip oil to last, but I really like it. It's a nice product. This is probably my favorite product of the video, I'd say. I really like it. I don't have any face powder today. Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't even think about face powder, if I'm honest, but I do have an under eye powder. Okay, so this is the Catrice Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. You will have seen people raving about this online, because I have. So I have this in the shade Warm Nude, which obviously pairs with the Warm Nude Under Eye Brightener. So this is the powder that goes with this. This is £3, and the first time that I used this, it definitely did sit into my fine lines. So the way that I like to apply this is I like to apply this just in my hollow areas, the bits that I want to mattify. So that's how it looks, and it is a wee bit messy, I'm not going to lie to you. Take a little angled eyeshadow brush. This is a really old Morphe one. I'm going to pick up a little bit of product, and then I'm just going to press it into the hollow. Just those areas where I need a little bit of brightness. You could probably use this all over the face actually, and it would be fine. I wouldn't advise bringing this all the way up to the lash line. That has not worked out well for me when I have placed this all over my under eye. It just didn't look right. It looked really dry. So already I can see texture under my eyes. I know people have been absolutely raving about it, but I can take it or leave it, if I'm honest. I did pick up another shade of the e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Blush in the shade Always Tempting. Definitely a blush that you can sheer out or build up. So we'll just use a tiny wee amount of this. I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques blush brush. Just going really gently. Okay, so I definitely have a lot of blush on today. A lot of blush. I don't care. I like blush. I'm going to wear loads of it, okay? That's what I'm doing today. The last thing that we're going to go in with today is a highlighter. And I had to get this because everybody was saying that this is a dupe for the Fenty highlighter, which I don't have. So it's the Catrice Diamond Haze highlighter. So this is in the shade Gimme Glitter. I'm not sure if it's picking up. Let me try and swatch it. Can you see that? Look at that. Wow. I'm taking my BK Beauty A505, which is brilliant for shimmery type shades. It looks wet in the pan, honestly. It doesn't pick up a massive amount. And I wonder if it applies better with the finger, although I don't know how I'm going to get my finger in. By the way, this cost me £5. But it's definitely better with the finger. I wonder how it's going to apply on the face then. Yeah, I don't love it on the inner corner. It's not impactful enough. I think this would be beautiful on the eye. I think it would be an amazing eyeshadow. I'm a bit concerned about using it on the face, but we're doing it. Okay, Real Techniques. This is my setting brush. It's perfect for just popping on highlighter. So I'm just going to tap into a bit because remember, this is glittery. No, that's literally glitter. It just looks like I've put glitter on my face. I don't like it on the face. It's not for me. Nah, that's not for me, that. No. So I thought it would be like really nice and wet looking on the skin. A little bit like the L'Oreal Lumi. The Lumi highlighter, the glass highlighter, that's perfect. It looks like I've got fallout on my cheek. So I don't like that. I don't know what I would use this for, to be honest. So there we go. I would say a bit of a mixed bag today from the drugstore. So in terms of which I would repurchase, I think that's the easiest thing to do. I would definitely repurchase the L'Oreal lip oil, the Plumping lip oil. I think it's really lovely, and above all, it's super comfortable. I do like the under eye brighteners, but I think you might have something like this in your collection already. It's nothing revolutionary. The e.l.f. Primer Infused Blushes, these are really lovely, you know. These are so flattering, especially on mature skin. Really like them. And I do have to say, I like the Catrice Blushing Charm, the cream stick, the blush stick. I think it's really pretty. And I'm still on the fence about this NYX tint. I've had success with it today. It looks good, but I have had more negative experiences with this tint than positive. So that's why it's important that I keep continuing to try this. At the end of April, I will absolutely update you on this and let you know, what the average is. Did I have more good experiences or bad? But I will let you know. But do let me know, what have been your favorite products from the drugstore recently? I would love to hear all about them. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care. Bye for now.